So, the pros and cons of going to a private school. If a school is a private school that goes from pre-kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, one of the bigger cons is that you'll be in school with the same people for 13 to 14 years, which isn't as appealing for some folks. There is a pro to that, in that as children grow together, they also form bonds that can help with academics as well as athletics. So some of the stronger teams, whether they're academic teams or classroom cohorts or athletic teams on the field, tend to do much better because kids really know each other and have a core that works out really well. Some kids aren't really crazy about small classroom size. So for example, with a number of private schools, they'll go to 8th grade where they have the majority of their students, and 9th grade will all of a sudden drop off in terms of the enrollment because families will choose to move on to public high schools, boarding schools, larger high schools for 9th grade. So then your child is really in the spotlight because they're now with a smaller group of kids, and they may not necessarily be the kids that they know best or get along with best after once they hit high school at a private school. But other benefits of a private school is because of that small class size, they're getting attention from the teachers. Experimentation, hands-on work in the classroom can come a lot easier because with a smaller number of kids, they're getting the mentorship and the attention that they need. And also resources won't be as competed over because they will already have those with a smaller number of kids. They'll have access to the equipment in an easier way. Other pros and cons to private schools will be tuition. Unfortunately, in this country, tuition goes up, doesn't usually go down. So families may scrutinize cost over a period of time of what they can do to be able to afford it. Along those lines, though, too, schools want to help families. So if they have you already for 5 years as a student, it's in that school's best interest to keep you. So financial aid becomes a part of what you're doing, and schools try to match your need so that you can stay. And it's more out of loyalty than needing the numbers to have you stay at school. So schools can be much more loyal to its students, especially working with families in a smaller school population, because there's understanding, there's familiarity, and there's loyalty to the family. If you're an athlete, and this is the last thing I'll say, if you're an athlete, opportunities to play a sport will also go up dramatically because being at a private school, smaller school, will be the benefit. The only negative to this would be if you're at a private school and you realize that your child realizes that they're not really going to go very far in the sport. Private schools may have a smaller number of resources, so maybe just a varsity team, and your child will be no longer playing the sport competitively at a younger age.